YouTube live series on customizing our homes. We are joined today, as always, by Dawn Dancer, our Director of Marketing. Say hello, Dawn.
Hey, everybody.
So Dawn will be moderating the live chat. So if you got any questions at all as we go through, please ask those questions, Dawn. And Nick and Kelsey will be answering those questions. So ask us all your questions, because we have, for the very first time, a very special guest out of our McKinney, Texas office, Miss Nidia Vega. Say hello, Nidia.
Hello, everybody.
So Nidia Vega comes to us, like I said, from our office up in North Texas, up in actually Melissa, so just north of McKinney. You can find her up there on the North Central Expressway. Just north of Buc-ee's. Everybody knows where Buc-ee's is. So they're nice points of reference along the Texas highways and byways. Before we get started, because it is your first time, Nidia, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, how long you've been with Tilson, and what you like doing. Y'all come on.
All right, perfect. Well, born and raised in Mexico, if you have not noticed by my accent just yet, so you figure it out. I moved to Texas about 7 years ago, and could not find any jobs, even though I have a computer science bachelor's background, work on the HR side as well in Las Vegas. But then here, it was hard to find a job. And I was so thankful that Tilson saw something in me and gave me the opportunity to be a part of the family. I started off as a hostess and then kind of moved my way to sales assistant and now consultant. And I get to build houses and see dreams come true for customers every single day.
Yes, and I'm grateful that you're there. And of course, folks, obviously, you can ask questions today in English o español, porque hoy hablemos español con Nidia.
Or probably Spanglish too, but either way.
Correct. Por supuesto. All right, so without any further ado, we want to talk about this because it's a very special customer of ours who's been very active, and we're very grateful to the Craigs for letting us share their story and share this home. So we are going to talk today about customizing the Driftwood, which of course is a model home down in Georgetown, Texas. So Nidia, tell us a little bit about this customer, where they're moving from, where they're moving to, and kind of what the impetus was behind all of this.
So yes, Mr. Craig, he was living in Aubrey. They have a big ranch with horses, but he wanted to here in North Texas, but he really wanted to be close to his family. He's a son, his granddaughter, and her daughter down there in the hill country in Burnett, Texas. And he went out there. He was very proactive. We met a few times. We went through different plans. And he had already bought this property down there, and we were able to help him from here and get ready to start building now there for them to move close to family.
Perfect. So yeah, that is the question we get a lot, folks, is, if I live in North Texas, but I'm building down in Burnett County, do I need, what office do I need to work out of? And the reality is the pricing is based on where you're building, not where you're buying from. So you work with whatever office is convenient for you or whichever sales consultant that you connect with the most. So I know, Dawn, you've got some insight on this one because he has been so active on the page. He shared some additional photos with us. I don't know, have you take us through if you don't mind.
Yeah, he did. I'm very excited for this one. I feel like half of our audience has actually watched this home go up because he shared so many pictures with us. So we started on his foundation pour back in December. So you can see the pictures of that. And he's just been sending us updates along the way. So in March, which actually on his birthday, was when the foundation was poured back in December. So that was really exciting for him. In March, he actually sent us the picture because he put in his own pond on the property to make it exactly how he wanted it. So this picture he sent, which was the pond was being filled up, and it was also, we had just completed drying in the home. So putting the paper on the, the rhino liner on the roof and the Tyvek all around. So that was super exciting. And then he just kept sending us more photos along the way. Here's April, where he was letting us know that all of his exterior finishes were completed. And then pretty much anyone who has asked along the way on Facebook about, hey, do you have a Driftwood? Mr. Craig has been great about posting those pictures and sending it. So I really feel like we all came along on this journey. So when we saw that he was closing on Friday, we were like, we have to feature this home. So I'm very excited to have Nidia today to talk about. talk about.
Beautiful. Well, thank him for sharing these, and thanks for taking the time to walk us through those. So, Nidia, tell us a little bit about what was it about the Driftwood model home that worked for the Craigs so well, and kind of we'll talk here in a minute, of course, some of the changes. And you folks, if you got questions, please post them in the chat. We will answer your questions as we go. We'll pause every now and then and answer all the questions we can. If you got questions about building on your land, the financing, building in one area of Texas versus living in another, how that works, what the oversight looks like, we'll be glad to answer any of those questions. So what is it about the Driftwood, Nidia?
All right. So when he came here, we went and did a tour on our models. He really liked our Rocco model that we have here in North Texas in the Melissa office, but it was a little bit bigger for what he was looking for. So we started talking about different plans. We work in different plans to see which one will work better for them. He loved the idea of the bonus upstairs, like in a Rocco model.
Sure.
So I showed and the open floor plan of the Rocco as well. So we were looking at different plans, and I told them about, hey, I have the Driftwood. We have an option to do a bonus upstairs, so you will have the same feeling of openness like the Rocco, but have that bonus upstairs. And it's actually a model that you can walk through and see how it is and kind of have a feeling for the house and the layout. So they drove down there, walked through it. He did his homework. He went and looked at everything else he could possibly look at. And he said, this house is the one that feels like home.
Of course. So now walk us through some of the changes that they made to the Driftwood to kind of make it their own. I know we mentioned the bonus room. We'll get to that in a second, but take us kind of around the house and what kind of, I see obviously the biggest one is they moved from 2,330 to almost 2,900 square feet. So
right.
Let's go from there.
Yes, so and that was one of the things with the other plan that he wanted to be with the bonus upstairs, but not as the Rocco. So this one will work good for what he was looking for. He had 2,300 square feet of the bonus. Once we have the without the bonus, once we have the bonus, it goes to 2,800. So this one will give him the openness, and then he loved just how that family room and the cathedral ceiling from the Driftwood is. So we started working on just this plan and started making changes. He didn't make many changes because he just loved the way we build our houses and this particular model.
Sure.
We just kind of did a few changes to make sure that it fit all his needs. And do you want me to go?
Yeah, just take us through the changes, kind of as Dawn's numbered them out here, 1 through 6. What kind of things did they make?
Perfect. Okay, so the number one, so the porch felt that it was the right size for them, but he wanted to add a little bit more of the slab or uncovered patio, like we call it, just because, as I think I saw, or we will see on some of the pictures, he was already planning to do a fire pit. So we just increased the pad area or the slab area 10 feet back, and to make it work for what he was looking for. Then
okay.
One of the things of the Driftwood is that already comes with garage 2.5. The floor plan normally comes with 3 doors. You'll see it right there. And he just wanted to have one bigger door and then the little one for the half garage, which I think is a very good idea. I was just mentioning to him, I believe that for people like me that doesn't require really well, the bigger door might be a good tip.
No need to round the corners of your car off going in. Good idea.
Yes, so he did that change. Number 3. So we added the custom option that we already have pre-designed for our model, just to get that bonus up there, really open, for TV or game room. We added that. And we also added a built-in bookcase on the study. And actually, he saw this from another customer that shared their pictures on Facebook, and he emailed me and said, "Hey, Nidia, I just saw this house. It's our plan in your Facebook, and can we have it?" Absolutely. So we went ahead and added that to their plans. Then let's see, 5. Oh, so most of our showers, this one already comes with a big shower and the tub. So most of our showers have the full glass. Yeah. And he just decided to put a half wall with tile, for less squeaky, less cleaning, which I will do by myself. So we just did that part on their shower, and and added the fireplace. Our model shows the fireplace option, and he went and just did it just like they saw it on our model.
But he did a very specific fireplace we'll get to in a minute, right? It wasn't our conventional fireplace. I'm excited about showing people that. And we got some really great photos, folks, of the built-in bookcases there. And of course, I mean, all of the exterior and interior of the home. But okay, well then, so tell us a little bit about, they have a beautiful piece of property there in Burnett County, by the way. So.
Yes, it is. We met, I believe it was, October, November, when we did our pre-construction meeting. It was a very cold, wet morning. I actually have a pictures of us with our jackets meeting the builder. And it's a gorgeous place. I actually told them then, when I retire, I'm probably gonna be their neighbor.
Living nearby.
Yes.
That's beautiful. And again, they didn't make a whole bunch of changes exterior. I really just, the only one I can tell is the overhead door there. Of course, this house does have spray foam insulation. You can see there's no ridge venting, which is a good indicator that attic is sealed off. So take us through kind of the front entry and the.
Yes, so
just when you walk through.
I believe this is one of the reasons why this plant is so popular. Everybody loves it. As soon as the whole house, it looks really beautiful. But then the door is kind of like the first impression that you have. I think they did upgrade the door, if I remember correctly. Then once you open, it's basically you can see all the way to their backyard, everything. You see the cathedral ceiling. So I think that is the reason why the Driftwood is one of our more popular plants, because that view is just amazing.
Yeah, it's unbelievable the way it brings it outside in. And tell me a little bit about the floors they've gone with.
Oh yeah, so Mr. Craig, always thinking about everything. He was telling me they were gonna move out there. It's 6 acres. They were gonna go and bring their horses, and he knew living out there, he didn't want any carpet. He wanted the wood look, but he wanted something less maintenance. So he went with wood tile throughout the whole house.
So yeah, this is a porcelain tile, which is extremely durable, but gives you that the look and the finish of a hardwood floor without any risk to damage. There's a great shot looking back the other way. Yeah.
Yep. And it's really, really, really pretty how you just connect the family room, the kitchen, and the backyard. So somebody can be cooking in the kitchen, somebody be in the family room, in the patio, and it almost feels like you're together.
Most definitely. And tell us a little bit about the cabinets. And folks, if you got questions, shout out in the chat. We'd be glad to answer any questions that you got. Tell us a little bit about the cabinet and countertop selections that we're going through.
Perfect. So yes, they went ahead and upgraded their cabinets. Normally our included cabinets, there will be stained. Mrs. Craig, she liked the painted look of it. A lot of customers are asking for that right now. And yes, all their cabinets throughout the whole house, they're painted except the bookcase in their study. The countertops, I believe they just went, let me just double check. Yes, they just did one of our very popular granites. Comes included with all of our houses. It's called the Santa Cecilia, and that's what they went with. And it looks really beautiful. She wanted to get something really, neutral tones where she can come back and just accent things out. And I think she did great.
Sure. And then also, so this is another view. Tell us a bit about kind of what's going on with the cooktop, some specific sinks about the Driftwood, and of course, maybe a sneak peek of that fireplace that was going on back there.
Yes, so yes, we did added the farm sink. We did one of our packages that we have for the live fixtures. They changed the appliance package to have this that we're looking on the pictures, and we have different packages that we can always look for and see what's your cooking style, what you want to have in your house, and we put what you're looking for. So they went with this specific package that is normally doesn't come with the house. The one that normally comes with the house, I believe, is the one with the microwave above the cooktop. Is that right?
Yeah, so that's pretty similar to what's in the.
It's very similar, yes. And also she wanted to have very neutral colors, but she wanted something to kind of give it a little extra touch to it. So what we did is on that tile niche that you can see above the cooktop, we went ahead and just on the back of it, we put some deco tiles, some little accent to just give it an extra pop of color to the kitchen.
Nice. So we are going to pause here, Dawn. I've got some questions coming in. I don't know if you can see them or not, but
yeah, I can see them on the individual things. For whatever reason, they're not populating in the fancy way that I can pop the questions up. So you guys will just
ask. Nidia's that good. We can ask.
Have to bear with me asking them. The first one, Debbie is asking, where is the Driftwood model located? Let's start off with an easy one.
Yes, it's in our Georgetown office park.
That's right. So yeah, just north of Austin, in Georgetown, Texas, right where the 130 toll road comes into I-35. The Driftwood's there, open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, Sundays noon to 6. So.
Then we have a friend over on YouTube who's asking us, they know that we cannot put in a dual circular staircase. Can we do a dual straight staircase?
Yes, and I think probably I know what we're talking about. We've been looking into that, and probably we might be able to do that. We just need to get a lot of details on that, but Eric, help me out here. I think.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on the layout. I mean, most of our floor plans.
Yeah, they're looking at the Hansford, if that helps. Yeah,
I don't know that the Hansford's going to have the space to allow for that without making some pretty significant customizations. Not saying it couldn't be done. I don't know that we've ever done that, even in the Hansford floor plan, but doesn't mean that we couldn't take a look at some pretty significant design changes that we can make to potentially accommodate that. I don't know if we're trying to get to it from two different directions or two beside each other, or just want to be real clear on what we're trying to accomplish to make sure we execute properly.
Yes, and it's probably because I actually had two customers that we have been talking about that. One of them brought their own plans, and we're trying to see if we can accommodate to that. And the other one, I think they want to just adjust the Hansford to do it. And yes, thankfully, I have a whole team behind me that can tell me and say, this will work without the house falling on our head.
Very important.
That would be helpful. So I definitely go and get all the information that we need to make sure that we're going to be able to provide the house that you're dreaming of.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Ava is asking if we build in the Castroville area.
Well, yes, Ava, we absolutely build in the Castroville area. Yeah, we have an office not too far from there in Bernie, Texas, but and they service all around, of course, Bexar County, Medina County, Atascosa County, Bandera County, Kendall County, where they're located. But yeah, we absolutely build Castroville.
Okay. Jennifer is saying that they have a dried up pond water hole on their land. Is that something that we can help them get up and running or put them in contact with someone to help with?
Yeah, I would recommend finding someone local that's very familiar with with soil conditions that hold water. So quite frankly, we're all about the opposite. We're all about finding soil conditions that can percolate water, that let water out, and that's simply from a foundation standpoint. Great question. I know what it's like to have a pond that doesn't hold water. It's infuriating. It's cool when it rains, and it's neat for like a week or two, and then it all either percolates down or evaporates or both. But yeah, there are some things that you can do. I don't know how big of a pond it is. I've heard of people bringing in bentonite, different types of soil materials. I've even heard of people bringing in gypsum, like actual sheetrock, to line the bottom of small ponds with that will help it hold water. So there are certainly things that can be done, and we can try and find somebody in your local area that's more of a lake and pond and fish management expert. Yeah, and when as far as what's around the house, we're going to make it do the opposite. We're going to make sure that water percolates down to the soil and goes away so that your foundation lasts a long time.
Okay. David over on YouTube is asking, talking about energy efficiency in our other videos and the standards for each region. He's asking if we have the flexibility in our methods to hit a higher standard, so something that's lower than 3 air changes per hour.
Oh, yeah. I mean, David, is David you said? Is that correct?
Yes, David.
Yeah, we actually are regularly hitting lower than 3. 3. So where Nidia is, for instance, that's the highest it can be is 3. It is not uncommon for us to hit in the 1.5 to 2.2 range. We're hitting that not infrequently, which is why we put the fresh air intakes and dehumidifiers on those houses, because they are super, super tight. But yeah, if there's a specific program that you're actually after, let us know some more details on that. Get with Nidia on what kind of details you're after, and we can reach out to our compliance department to make sure that we can safely accommodate that with the equipment that we're typically using.
Okay. Amy Marie is saying that she is confused about what the homeowner needs to do on the property as far as water, electrical, and sewer go. So if the connection is on the street, what does the homeowner need to do?
Okay, so basically we will look into what is required on your property. So if you have water on the street, on the road, we will need to contact your water company and see about putting up water meter. Then from there, we're gonna see where you wanna put the house. All of our houses include 50 feet of water line. So if your lot is where the house is going to be is 50 feet away, well, you probably just need to set up your account and get the water meter in. From there, we take care of it. If it's further back, which most customers do, we can definitely get all the extra line to the house. Sometimes the customer can get it to the house. It depends on how it works best for you.
Yeah, that's a good. The confusing part sometimes winds up in being, is there a meter there or not? There's one thing to say there's water running across the front of the property. That's not uncommon, and then it's quite another for that water entity, whoever the water entity is, to say, well, yeah, there's water running across the property, but you have to pay for a water tap and possibly even a water meter or both. So that is the owner's responsibility to set up those utilities, because it's your lot and your utilities. And then what Tilson's, again, our standard price includes 50 feet, as Nidia said, of on-site water line and electrical line. And then we have typically a price per the lineal foot, depending on the area that you're building in, for anything over 50 feet. Because we have some customers that are, the Craigs are out there on 6 acres, so they're way more than 50 feet off the road. Now they have a private well, so a little bit different story there. But we can give you a price, or you're welcome to have anyone you want price it out. But as far as setting up the actual utility account, paying for the water tap, paying for the water meter, that is the owner's responsibility. And then anything over 50 feet is priced typically when we do our stakeout or site meeting appointment. So hopefully that clears it up. If not, ask us another question about it. We'll get it.
Okay, perfect. We have a friend over on YouTube asking about the front door on the Driftwood, if it can be widened to be a double door.
I have not done it with the Driftwood itself, but my very first house that I sold, it was the Hillsboro, and we added a double doors. So definitely we can just look into it and we can make it happen.
Yeah. So what has to happen in this particular home is you do have to make the foyer itself wider. So the way the foyer is set up right now, it won't accommodate 2 3-foot doors with enough room for the jamb and the casing and everything that goes around that. Certainly you're gonna lose the windows that are on either side, but you could do double doors, but you're gonna have to add probably a foot of space to that foyer to make that happen. You might be able to go down to 2 foot 8 inch doors, 2 foot 8 inch doors, and make those fit. But it's gonna be a little tight. It might not look scale wise what you're trying to accomplish unless you do widen that foyer and that front porch. So. Because it's not just the foyer you need. You can't just widen the foyer. You got to do everything that's in line, right? So your front porch, your foyer, your family room, covered porch on the back, it's a line all the way through the house. So, but yeah, it can be done.
Yes, sure. When I did it at 28, right, to be able to not have to expand it. But like you said, we have to look at the plan and see if in your plan it will work the way you want it. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, great. David is asking, is there is a bond breaker under the tile to prevent it from cracking?
So we use, there's no way to prevent 100% from cracking, certainly. I mean, most of it doesn't crack, and obviously it's warranted for the first year against that. But yeah, the thin set that we use, a particular product that we use, I think right now we're using Mapei is one. And yeah, they all of the thin set manufacturers have a certain type of bonding agent in them to combat against cracking. There's obviously very extensive things that you can do, all the way up to including membranes and underlayments that can be done. Those are not going to be included in a typical tile installation, but we have priced those out in the past for customers that are highly concerned about that. They do come in prior to installation, and any surface cracks or things like that at all, they treat those prior to putting the thin set down and prior to the tile installation. But as far as additional membranes or anything like that, that would be something we need to talk about further. But the thin set itself that we use does have some properties that prevent it from cracking.
Okay, great. Jennifer is asking what the cost is if they were to put a bookcase on each side of the fireplace.
Well, it really depends on, how wide you want it. We have different options, or open shelves, or like Mr. Craig did, we're going to see a picture of it. Also, it depends on the type of wood that we're going to be doing, if it's going to be painted, if it's going to be stained. He actually did it stain with our entry-level cabinetry, so we can definitely measure and see exactly how many feet you need in each side. But I don't know the exact pricing right now.
Yeah, it's going to depend on the plan, but we can certainly price that out for you. Your local design center can to get you the exact price on what type of cabinet that you're going to be using. If you're going to be doing a stone base, a granite countertop of some sort, or just cabinets all the way down, that's going to change the price significantly. So, Dawn, you want to go hit some more of these slides, and then we'll come back and get some more questions?
Sure, we can do that.
Okay. Be respectful of everyone's time. Not mine and Nidia's. We're going to be here all day, so no problem.
Same here. All right.
All right, so here's the family room, and the only thing that he did different was, like Eric was saying, the fireplace. He saw it on the model, and we can add this same fireplace to any of our floor plans. This is an electric fireplace, and I'm so glad that we can see it. Normally, when I'm trying to show, we don't have those many around that I've seen. So I always run to my Facebook page with Tilson and look at my Waxahachie part, show it to customer. This is how it looks, beautiful. But now you can see how theirs look, and I just love it. Price point is really good, and there's no cleaning, which I will appreciate, but it looks wonderful. And that's one of the things that they did to accentuate their beautiful family room.
Very nice.
That will be the master bedroom, and I do believe we added that window from the original plans, just for more natural lighting to go into the room.
Yeah, so the bed's set up here now.
Yes,
they moved in.
That was the plan, exactly, to just put it there and get more natural light, even though they have a lot of windows still, but wanted to get a little bit more for their bedroom. Perfect. So here we're looking at our painted cabinets that we have option for. The granite that comes included is one of the options that we have for all of our houses for kitchen and countertops and bathroom countertops. And here is where we can see where we build the half wall. So we still have a lot of glass, but not so much that we will typically have it all the way to the bottom. So yeah, this is a smart move, so we don't have to squeegee that much.
That's right. That's right. And then this does show also how we deck mount the tubs, which I think is a really nice touch. Very nice custom feature. And of course, your cabinets underneath to give you access to the drain and anything else you might need to adjust underneath there at some point.
Yeah, and one of the things also, I think that's what they did, the frosted window. Normally, all of our windows will be clear, but they just wanted to just have a little more privacy, even though they're in 6 acres. But we did that. Some of the customers, that's me.
They didn't want the llamas looking in. I get it.
Exactly. Yes.
We're gonna see some of them. They have some tall, long-necked animals that they can come and peek in their window. They didn't want any of that.
They're very nosy.
They are. I see what you did there.
All right. So here, this is the bonus room that we added, and it's just very open, spacious. They were planning on. They added the two. Well, no, I think that comes with the ceiling fans that way. But then they were going to be putting their TVs and just for the, the grandkids to come and visit. So it's very.
Look at that view. Spectacular.
I fell in love with the site when I was there.
So tell us a little bit about we got also access over here to the attic.
Yes, it's a little tiny door access to the attic. So I walk through access. Actually, in our model, the roll we have with the option of the bonus, we have that as well. So more easily convenient to get in there. It will probably fit me just my height here, but it's kind of funny. I had to move my desk this side because I was just so short for the camera.
It's too funny. Well, I mean, Tony Mead did build it, so it would be remiss if we didn't mention that. And today is his birthday, as a matter of fact. So anybody who's on here who wants to reach out to old Tony Mead and give him a happy birthday, feel free to do that. So very cool. Did a great job. All right. So finally, the much anticipated built-ins. Tell us a little about this.
Yeah, so like I was mentioning, they saw something similar to this on another of our customers' Facebook pictures. Ours had to be adjusted a little bit from what they saw because it has to be work well with their plans. Mm-hmm. So it was one of our included stain options for the beechwood that we were looking at. We will have a new cabinetry very soon though, but this is what they wanted to do, the full wall of the doors and the open shelves.
Right, and these are adjustable. And this is what we meant earlier to the person who asked about the built-ins. Is it going to be open shelves all the way down? Is it cabinets below and then upper shelves? We have some customers that do these, and there's a granite top here, and then they build on top of that. We have some folks that do stone on the bottom and then do built-in. So it really, really depends on what the look you're trying to accomplish. Let's go through more of the secondary bath. Maybe we can pause after this one, Dawn, and get some more questions.
Okay.
So yes, this is just a secondary bathroom, and we have some options when it comes. We have a lot of options when it comes to the included features of our house. So we had a great meeting with them. We went through all the options. She did want to have very earth tones and just kind of pop it with some, like different darker grout. But all of this that you're seeing, besides the cabinetry and the faucets, and the flooring, but the countertops, the tile, the offset layout of the tile, it's features that you can do to any house, and it would increase the price.
All right, so yeah, let's pause here for questions, and then we'll talk about this beautiful back covered area.
Okay. So Charlie is asking, how does the process change if you bring your own plans, and would the Easy Buy program still apply if I brought my own plan?
Yes. So whenever you bring your plans, I always tell them before you pay for any plans to an architect, because we will need a full set of plans to be able to give you a price. We don't have to do that with ours. We know exactly how many sticks we need for our houses. But when you have your own plans, if you have not paid for them, I would really recommend visit us first. Tell us what you need. We're probably going to find a plan that fits your need. But if not, if you already spend time and money, with the plans that you want to build, bring them over. We will definitely take a look at them. And what we normally do is, if it's not something that we said, this is something that we normally don't feel comfortable building, it's out of our catalog, we'll let you know, because we don't want to try to sell you into anything. But if it's something to be able to give you a pricing point, we're normally going to take one of our plans, kind of give you an idea if you're still okay with that, and then we can proceed and see how much it will be to build your plans. And yes, the Easy Buy program, it will work the same both ways.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Okay, great. Let's see. Angelica is asking about the ceramic tile on the floor. Do you have that exact, what color that is?
Ceramic tile for the floor?
Yes.
Yeah, like in the family room.
The emblem brown. And Angelica, I think I know who you are. You need to come and sit in my office. I will show it to you and I'll give you all the details.
All right. Angelica, you now have an appointment. Let's go. Iris is asking if we would ever consider building in Nueces County. They have 2 acres outside of Corpus.
Yeah, I mean, I know I saw that message, Iris. I when we set up the service areas we do that, with our trade partners, so I mean, our framers, sheetrockers, trim carpenters, roofers, concrete, all those guys, and unfortunately, we have to draw the line somewhere for them. I mean, we get pricing from them based on that. They give us the areas that they are comfortable servicing. And the last thing we'd ever want to do is jump out in an area that, maybe we're comfortable or confident that we can service, but maybe some of the trade partners we're bringing with us would not be comfortable doing that. And that it's just not setting them or you up for success. So unfortunately, I mean, would we ever consider? I mean, that's an absolute, right? Of course, at some point we might consider it, but with our current serviceable area, unfortunately, Nueces County is not one that we can currently service. So thanks for asking, though, and always check back because things do change. Well, typically, if we're going to add an area, we would certainly announce it. So
yes. Okay, we have a friend on YouTube saying he would be interested in wood floors, ceramic tile, and stained concrete throughout the house. Is there a big cost difference when they're taking out all the carpet to do that?
It really varies. I will show you what comes included in the house. And then from there, I have customers that go stained concrete throughout, or some carpet, some tiles, some vinyl plank. I will do my best to show you all the options. That way you can make the decision. There is a price difference between what you do. Right now is a lot of our customers, well, at least mine, they're going with the vinyl plank because it gives you the wood look and the price is better than the actual real wood, or just different combinations. So we will show you exactly what it will cost you on different scenarios and you make your decision.
Yeah, because the 3 things you asked for are at 3 different price points, right? So, and they're all more than carpet. So the stained concrete is probably your least expensive, next rung up, and then tile, although they're pretty close, depending on what level of tile, and then wood would be above those. So big difference is kind of relative. It may be no big difference to you, maybe worth it, but to someone else it might be more significant. So
yes.
But we can do it room by room and give you, like Nidia said, a line item pricing on it, and you decide.
Okay, great. Taylor is asking, I believe this was in reference to the kitchen, if there's a 42-inch cabinets and a 9-foot ceiling. So let me pop that picture back up.
Yeah, there are 42-inch cabinets. The ceiling is, I think it is 9.
It's actually 10 in that house. Yeah, the ceiling is 10 foot.
Okay, yes.
Okay, great. And then Jabo is saying he's looking at the Frio. Do we have any idea on the approximate cost to add the upstairs bonus room and how that compares to adding a 4th bedroom?
Bonus room on the Frio. I actually can pull that up.
What the price? Well, here Eric will pull the price for you, but it depends on the county, how it changes on the pricing. I believe on the Frio, your bonus will be a little bit more than the 4-bedroom.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really, really close in price. You're looking around 40,000, 38 to 40,000 to do that. The option on that 4th bedroom. So it's going to be very, very close to the bonus room option. So.
Okay. David is asking if we've ever used the zip system sheathing, and if so, if we ever had any problems with the tape.
Almost like he's watched one of our videos, because the answer is yes and yes. Yes, we've used the zip system, and yes, we've had issues with the tape. We don't always have issues with the tape, but it's not the tape, by the way, that has the issue. The tape is okay. The tape is on a job site. That's the issue. So the zip system requires, particularly to get their warranty, that tape has to be, you have to buy rollers. They used to give you the rollers when you bought the zip system and the tape. Now they quit doing that, which is their problem. So you need to buy these rollers, and it's really important that everybody on the framing crew have the roller, or that you have one or two guys that is their sole job, is to go around the house and roll every single seam around the house and on the roof decking, which sounds like, oh, no big deal. Okay, well, there's sawdust, there's dirt, there's dust, there's rain, there's, it's outside, right? So I don't know when was the last time you put a roll of tape and threw it outside, and there's no roof on the house yet. That's what you're doing with the decking. So there's really nowhere on that job site to put that tape and have it keep from getting exposed to the elements. So it is a good product, guys. I'm not disparaging Zip System. They make a good product. Advantech's a great company. We use their subflooring system. The Zip System, if done correctly, and if the tape is applied correctly, it works. We just found that on broadly speaking, out in rural areas, if we were building subdivisions that everything had concrete driveway and concrete roads, and we could minimize the amount of dust, dirt, and country living that goes on, it may be a different story. But for right now, the way and where we build, for us, the Tyvek is a far superior application, broadly speaking.
Okay.
I feel like that's diplomatic. That's about as diplomatic as I get, by the way.
That was pretty good. I was impressed.
That was hard.
Deborah is asking which office services the Palestine area.
Actually, you could go. Nidia would tell you can drive here.
Customers driving all the way from Waxahachie to meet with me, even though there's a lot of people in it. So I'll be happy to help you.
Nidia throwing down the gauntlet to her North Texas sisters. To answer your question, the Bryan office or the Waxahachie office are probably the closest office. Huntsville's not that far out either. You can shoot straight down 287 Highway 19 through Crockett and Trinity and be at our Huntsville, New Everly location, or you could go west on 287. It'll take you straight to our Waxahachie location, or you can go a little bit south on 19 to hit 21 and go west and be at our Bryan location. All those within probably less than an hour and a half, and see 3 different sets of model homes. So, or Nidia would be happy to see you drive up to McKinney. Head just a little bit north, hit 837 to 45, and just head straight up through Dallas, and you'd be in Nidia's place in less than 2 hours. So, but we do love all the Palestine area, Deep East Texas, Anderson County, Houston County, Angelina County. We build a significant amount of houses out that way, so we'd be glad to help you out.
Great. Renee is asking on the Driftwood, what is the added cost of the bonus room?
Great question, Renee. So let's double check that real quick, and I'll tell you. I'm so prepared for all this stuff. Upstairs bonus room, 42.1. You're looking at 42.1. And that adds about 600 square feet of living area. So it's a very cost-effective way to add a whole bunch of living area.
All right. Well, while you have your pricing up there, Donna is asking us about how much more does it cost to have spray foam in the Driftwood instead of the regular insulation?
It will depend on the county, right? So if you're in our region 3 or zone 3, it will be included. So if you're on the other regions, then Eric will have the answer of that because I don't remember.
Yeah, that might take me a second to get into the extras pricing and double check that. But I move on to the next one, and I'll have that looked up here pretty quick.
Okay. Let's see. Edgar is saying he has electricity and a water well already on his property for use for his cattle. Can those same connections be used for the house, or will he need to put in new ones?
It could probably work. We just need to see, how your water well works. It's going to be sufficient for the house. Electricity, totally. A lot of our customers, some of them, they have a barn with water, electricity. Some of them even have septic. And we just want to make sure that it will work with what, the existing structures that you have in your house. But we can definitely use them, and we will help you figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, in most cases on your water well, you're going to have obviously a tank above. So they're usually 100, 150 gallon tank somewhere above ground. So yeah, there's no reason. You already got power running there, and that's really the hardest part of getting the electricity is having the power company come out and run the poles out to where you're going to be. So yeah, there's no reason. We may have to upgrade the service, potentially. I don't know what size service, transformer you have out there, but you're going to do something at least for a 200 amp service for your home. And if you have a home and a barn and a well and stuff, I'd probably recommend even higher than that, maybe 320 or 400 amp service size transformer, but that'll get you pretty close. So going back to the foam insulation question, you're looking about a little less than $2 a square foot of living area. So if you had a 2,000 square foot house, it's going to be about $4,000 to go from standard foam, standard fiberglass insulation to spray foam. And now understanding that that's not all insulation cost. In fact, probably half of that is actually insulation delta. A lot of that is going to be, we have to completely change out the HVAC system. So it's a totally different HVAC system with a dehumidifier, fresh air intake. So there's a lot more that there's some different framing techniques we have to do when we're going to spray foam as opposed to bat insulation. And again, that's going to be reflected in the price as well. So about if you figured about $2 per square foot of living area, it's going to get you really close. Probably be a hair over if you did that.
Okay, good to know. Charlie is asking back to if I bring in my own plan, if he brings in CAD files, can we make the adjustments, or would we be able to work just from PDFs?
So we actually wouldn't make the adjustments to the CAD files. We would want to sit down, and if there are any adjustments to be made, we'd probably just assume start with one of our plans. It sounds like if there are plans that you've got that it doesn't, if you're wanting to make changes to it, I guess, and maybe I'm misunderstanding, but it doesn't sound like the plan's the way you want it. So in a case like that, we just kind of start. It's easier for us to just start from nothing rather than starting from, because I don't know what code that was designed to. I don't know where the plans were purchased from. I don't know. And that's one of the challenges with plans being easily available on the internet. Right? You get a plan that was designed by a group in New York or Vermont or California or Washington State, and they design it for a set of those standards, which are completely different than the way we build houses in Texas, or Florida or anywhere else. So it's very similar. If we were to sell, the same reason we get requests a lot, like, do we sell our designs? Right? And the answer is, well, no, because I know that if I sell my design to somebody who's building in Montana, the design's worthless to them, because they're going to have to completely redesign the house. They're going to have to design a basement. They're going to have to change the insulation package on it. They're going to have to completely redesign the wall width, snow load, framing load. So I would submit, if you're going to need to make changes to the plan, already planning on doing that, bring the PDFs. Let us take a look at those, and then start from there. That'd be better than start with the CAD files. Okay. And also, you'll need to get a release from whoever owns the copyrights to the plan in order to do that.
Okay. Mr. Harden is asking us, what are the dimensions of the required driveway before construction?
Ooh, that depends. So it depends on how much width we got coming off the road, but I would recommend nothing less than 12 feet wide of surface. So when we do construction drives by Tilson, it's 12 feet wide of crushed rock or crushed concrete with a crown and swales on both sides so that water sheds off of it. And it needs to be suitable for all weather access, or, we're talking 40,000 pound dump trucks and 80,000 pound concrete trucks. So great question. But yeah, 12 feet of width would be a really good, that's what's going to be. If someone's quoting you any less than that, it probably isn't something they do very often, but 12 feet is going to be the minimum I would recommend.
Okay. Micah Eric just wanted to tell Nidia that she is amazing and she's helping them build a canyon, and she's just very appreciative of how patient and kind you've been with all of their indecision and helping them get exactly what they wanted.
I agree with all those things, Micah. Yes. Thank you for saying that about her.
Yes, we're going to start.
I believe that whenever I hired her some 7 or 8 years ago. So
I think that's exactly what you saw in her.
That's exactly what I saw. You bet.
Thank you.
Letitia is asking if people are still going for a traditional wood burning fireplace. Are we seeing more people go with the modern electric type?
Here, we actually have seen more people going with the electric fireplace. We also can do gas fireplace. I actually have somebody right now building a wood burning fireplace. Now, like Eric was saying, our houses are so energy efficient and so tight that your typically wood burning fireplace, it won't work. So we have to make one, we have to put one that actually works. So also that the price point of that is a little bit higher than we were seeing before. So most customers that I've been working with so far, we are going towards the electric option.
Yeah, we're seeing fewer and fewer of the traditional wood burning, just metal box fireplace, particularly like we're just saying in North Texas, climate and parts of Central Texas in climate zone 3, because it's just really, really hard to get those things to get combustible air to draw. So there is a fireplace that we do offer that is it's the most sophisticated wood burning fireplace you've ever seen in your life. And has a price tag to kind of go along with it. But for somebody who just has to have wood burning, it's the best alternative because it does have its own combustible air that it brings in, and you can actually burn wood in it with the doors closed. Like, it's that sophisticated. But most people want fireplaces purely for the aesthetics, right? Just for the way that it looks, for the cosmetics. And in a case like that, you're better off just doing the electric one. They sure clean up easy, like with Windex. They don't smell, and it does give off heat, by the way. And you can change the LED lights. You can have pink fire, purple fire, green fire, blue fire, or traditional orange fire. But yeah, a lot more electric, and then again with the gas. But with the wood burning, it's getting to be less and less and less. Because most people don't like to fool with cleaning it.
I have my electric fireplace at home. That thing is on every day just because it makes me feel relaxed. Weird. So that way, even if it's 100
because I know you don't like cold weather, so it's not got nothing to do with that.
That's right. So 100 degrees out, my fireplace is on with no heat. So
perfect. Dawn, you want to punch out the rest of these slides for folks, and then we can come back to some more questions in a second?
Yes, that's actually what I was going to recommend.
Oh, well, that's a great recommendation. Great minds. Great minds.
All right, Nidia.
All right. So this is basically how the driftwood comes as the standard plan. But we can see here how it looks with the bonus that we added with our custom options. So you can have a view of that. When we started working with Mr. Craig, he was asking me, hey, how do I know? How is it going to look? Well, he had to build it. We had another customer that actually had built it, and we were able to show him the picture. But now we have more options for all of our other customers to see. So that's one of the changes they made. And actually now the concrete, the way that they extended it, just not a culvert, but just the concrete. And that's just a beautiful view of our back porch.
What else is going on the ceiling here?
Oh, yes. So we have the real soffit. So that is an extra thing that you can do just to make it look much, much nicer. So I've done that a few times with different customers because it just makes it look much, much nicer.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Really nice touch. What is going on here?
There you go. So there is just one of the tips that Mr. Craig was giving us. So if you don't know how to select your colors, just go ahead and match it with your goals. So there you go.
That's a nice touch. Yeah, it's really cool the way Mr. Craig had a great spirit about it and was super, super gracious to share his experience with everybody. And I genuinely appreciate that, of him doing that. But yeah, these are some of their roommates out there, their resident alpacas, llamas, goats, various and sundry critters running around. So what a beautiful, peaceful place he's got.
It's gorgeous. Yes.
So there's kind of a big, large view of the estate. You can see the well there, kind of in the middle, and we got a barn and a beautiful home, bonus room, and what a tremendous view.
Absolutely beautiful.
With that said, Dawn, what other questions can we help answer for folks?
We have lots of questions.
Woo-hoo.
All right. Let's see here.
And when you look at the questions, Dawn, I just want to say that right after I was working with Mr. Craig, I had 2 customers that we were trying to find a plan for them, and we built this cypress with the same bonus, just like Mr. Craig, because I showed them what we did with him. So even if you don't see it on our custom options, just let's bring the ideas. We'll be able to help you figure things out like that. So
Yeah.
Great point.
Excellent
Thank you.
point. So Robert is asking, they're currently building in Medina County. What constitutes needing to have steps to any of the entrances?
Oh, that is a great question, Robert. So the answer to that is it kind of depends on where it is on the house. So I think the cutoff is around 30 inches. I think if it's more than a 30-inch drop, I'm pretty sure you got to have steps and potentially even railing on that. So I believe it's 30 inches, but certainly the sales consultant in that office would know exactly because they deal with it. The Bernie office deals with it more than any other office, of course. Bernie and San Marcos. So, and probably Georgetown to a great degree. So
yes, and I actually had one here in North Texas that because of the lot situation, 30 inches, we had to do.
Yeah, and there is a way we can also look at it, Robert, of potentially bringing in fill to obviously. So if the concrete's up here and you got a 30-inch drop down to the ground, we can bring in fill. But we have a lot of customers, particularly in the hill country, that don't want to do that. They want to do a deck later on or something like that. They don't want all that extra dirt brought in. So it's just something that we can look into doing that if that's an option that you'd be interested in. Certainly bring it up to your sales consultant. And then we would also need to make sure that on your lot, there's enough space if you bring the dirt in that we can slope it away. Because that's the most important thing is that we maintain positive drainage away from the foundation all the way around. Usually it's not hard to get positive drainage in the hill country on the low side, but sometimes on the high side, it's hard to make water go uphill. So we want to be sure that we've got enough space if we bring in material to make it slope away. So that's why sometimes bringing in of dirt isn't really an option on one side of the home. So I do believe it's 30 inches though.
Okay. Jen and Ray are asking if we can do stained concrete floors.
Definitely. We have different colors that we'll show you here when you come and visit us, and we'll give you the prices and we'll let you know some other options that we have. But definitely, I have done quite a few for my customers. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And let's see. J-Bo is asking, so this one's a little bit longer, so bear with me. He's asking that since spray foam requires a tighter house than other insulation types, is a home insulated better long-term using standard insulation since a tight home can be harder to maintain over the years?
Well, that is a matter of opinion, J-Boo. So the short answer is I don't think one's really that much better than the other, honestly. Certainly there's pros and cons to it. I would say, I guess, long-term, as long as you have a functioning and maintained dehumidifier, a tighter house, you're going to lose less energy because you're going to lose less of that air that you're paying to heat and cool going through various openings. Sometimes, whether it be in the attic, whether it be under the sill plates, whether it be through outlets, windows, all that kind of stuff. All that to say that, I mean, I built my Tilson home 16 years ago. We weren't doing anything near like what we're doing today, even from our bat insulation standpoint. We were still using bat insulation, but we weren't doing the 2-stage polycell. We weren't doing the full OSB wrap. I mean, and that house is just functions just great. It's been through 2 hurricanes and stands just fine. And isn't in a windstorm area, by the way. So all that to say that you're going to be fine either way. What's going to be interesting to see would be, I think, a better question. If you're looking for real philosophical thought here, we go super deep, is how are energy companies going to make up their budgets with people using less and less and less energy? That's the question. They're used to getting a certain level of income based on people using a certain amount of kilowatt hours and them charging a certain price. Well, if builders are being asked to build homes tighter and tighter and more efficient so that you use less and less and less energy, that sounds great for you and me who are paying monthly for that. But at some point, they're accustomed to getting a certain amount of money. So does that mean that their price per kilowatt hour will go up? Does it mean the government has to subsidize them in some way? And I'll await your thoughts on that, because I don't know what the answer on that's going to be. But that's what I would be more concerned with than whether spray foam or bad insulation is going to be better long term. They're both going to function perfectly fine.
Okay. Isaiah is asking if the master bath that we showed was standard or was it upgraded?
It actually comes with the Driftwood plan. We did actually just raise the wall on the shower. And I believe actually once we did the numbers, I think it was a minimum cost. Well, actually, I think it probably was a little bit of cost or a change or nothing.
It could have been nothing, because the glass, you'd be getting credit for the glass.
Exactly.
So yeah, but the only upgrade I can see in this bathroom, Isaias, is the floor, which tile would be standard already, but not this level of tile. But that's the only thing. Other than that, and the white cabinets, of course.
And the faucets.
Yep. But the Driftwood comes with a tub. It comes with that size shower. Comes with those vanities, those linen laundry hamper cabinets. So, yep, that is included in the Driftwood model.
Okay, great. Mr. Craig just wanted us to let Tony know that he was great, and so was Nidia.
Thank you so much, Mr. Craig.
We agree. Thank you, Mr. Craig.
And if I could rate you, I will give you 200 because you were an ideal customer, so proactive and on top of everything. So thank you so much for letting us be part of your journey.
Yeah, that's well said, Nidia. Yeah, it is. The customer is a big part of this. I mean, built on your lot, of course, it's your land. So you, the customer, have a pretty big job. I mean, you're obviously paying us for a service, and we're gonna execute on that. But we need a lot of answers, if nothing else, and in a lot of cases, just your help with county and subdivisions and setting up accounts. Like you are an integral part of the built on your lot process. So. Thank you.
Yes, and he was always super proactive. I would say him and us, we were ready. He was the very first person to build in that subdivision. So actually he did some of the legwork for everybody else that's gonna come back and build there. So their process will be much easier because of you, Mr. Craig. So thank you.
Mr. Craig is a trailblazer.
Yes.
Right.
Him and his alpacas.
So Charlie is asking, how does Tilson handle solar installations? Would it be wrapped into the price of the home? Does it need to be separate? How would that work?
Yeah, we actually do very, very, very little. It would almost certainly be separate than the contractor, because we don't have any contractors that do solar. It's not been a big demand on the places that we build. And so that would be something that you'd probably bring your contractor and probably done post closing. We would certainly just need to know if there's any accommodations we need to make for like battery storage and that kind of thing. We've gotten into very, very little of that, but we'd be glad to take a look at it with you.
Okay. David is asking, do we or can we incorporate firewise construction in a home located in a heavily wooded area?
So I'd want to get some clarification on firewise construction. I'm always real careful about those kind of terms. I mean, obviously, most of the materials that we use are fire retardant. They're not necessarily, nothing's fireproof, by the way. But I mean, obviously, the shingles that we're not using wood shingles. We don't use any wood on the exterior of the home. It's a hardy plank, cementitious fiber, so that's cement board or stone or brick. But there's incinerators out there for a reason. Anything gets hot enough, it'll burn. So. I want a little more clarification on that before I'd want to commit to whether or not that's something we participate in.
Okay, I think that's fair. Laurie is asking if there's extra storage space in a home, can they enclose that when they're customizing the plan? Apparently there's a space in the Whitney where there's some extra stuff that she would want to convert into a walk-in closet.
Yes, we can definitely take a look at it and see once we, meet and look at the plans. If you tell me where your plans are, I will definitely look into making those changes for you.
Okay. Rita is asking what locations are considered zone 2 and zone 3 when we're talking about the insulation.
So that is International Energy Conservation Code. Those good folks have the climate zone set up. It is a government approved map. It's not necessarily the EPA per se, but it is something that we do have. And it's unfortunately, here's what I'll tell you: it's not a straight line, and I would
Not at all.
It's not even a logical line. It kind of comes across the south of Corsicana, so anything kind of north of Fairfield-ish is considered it. But then as it goes around towards the hill country, it kind of starts to bend a little bit. So, like for instance, our Bernie location in Kendall County is technically in Climate Zone 2, but you go across the county line in Bear County and it's not. It's Climate Zone 3 over there, Climate Zone 2 in Bear County. Williamson County, where Georgetown is that Burnett is Climate Zone 3. But you go a little to the west of Burnett, and it's Climate Zone 2. We're using BAT. So you really need to sit down with a sales consultant and we can show you, or maybe we can do a different video sometime on a FAQs and bring the map up, Dawn.
Mm-hmm.
Might be helpful to folks, but it's
kind of a squiggly line.
But it is a very squiggly line. But it is a finite line. So we can in fact ascertain what side of the line that you're on. So we can help you with that. Tell us the county and we can certainly help you out.
Yeah. Cornell is asking, what is the height of our foundations and can it be changed? He's asking because his property slopes down 3 to 4 feet from the street. Yeah,
it's so depending on where you're building, it varies, obviously, right? I mean, so it varies by region, anywhere from 11.5 inches above natural ground to up to 14 to 18 inches above natural ground, depending on the area. And then, yes, it can obviously be changed. We can raise it. We can raise them as much as 4 feet or more if we need to get you higher than the street or satisfy any flood requirements or county requirements that are in place.
Okay. We have a friend over on Facebook on YouTube who's asking us in the Driftwood, could the extra bedrooms be moved upstairs and put a game room and movie room downstairs?
So it just depends. I believe the bonus room falls on the kitchen area. No,
it's fallen over those secondary bedrooms.
Right.
Well, no, it's over the kitchen and dining. But
okay.
Yeah, it's over the kitchen and dining. You could certainly partition that off and probably get 1 or 2 bedrooms. I don't know if there's room for a bathroom up there too with 2 bedrooms. That'd be kind of a tight fit. It's certainly not the exact same amount of space that's being used downstairs. So you can either go with smaller bedrooms up there, but the biggest thing we look at is egress, so you got to have doors going in and out and windows going in and out. So it would be a challenge on the Driftwood, but I'm not gonna say it can't be done, but it would be a pretty significant design challenge. You might be better off with another plan.
Okay, that makes sense. They're also asking if we can add a safe room, tornado room in the garage.
Well,
what do you recommend, Nidia? Y'all get the most requests up there, I bet.
Yeah, that's actually what we recommend for you to do a tornado shelter or safe room in the garage. That's what normally we do. Normally customers do it after the house is built. I do know that one time we did try doing one inside the house. It was a little bit of challenging. So what most of my customers do is they do something built into the garage. But
yeah, we've done a couple of those with a company called Family Safe,
yes.
Which are closest to her office up there in Melissa, Texas. And yeah, we've the garage is a great place to locate that because it's super easy to get to. And yeah, that's if we're going to do a shelter like that, we highly recommend you use a company that's tested, it's certified. I wouldn't try to just build one out of CMU walls or plywood or anything like that. Like I would recommend you do a proper safe room, metal that's been tested, and by a third-party contractor.
Okay. Jennifer is asking if we help hook up propane, or is that something the customer would need to do? Say that again. Hook up
If we help hook up the
propane.
propane, the LP, yeah, that's a customer.
Oh, yes. That will be something that is your responsibility. Most of our customers, they already kind of know which company they're going to be using. The way that we help you is you will let us know where do you need the gas, your cooktop range, or your water heater for the gas fireplace, for the patio for a grill. So we will locate those on the plans. But then yes, it will be up to you to get with the company and see if you're going to have propane and if you're going to be able to have it underground or above ground. So yeah, we can definitely help you, but normally something the customers will do.
And the exception to that would be in Texas Grand Ranch, where we do it completely turnkey. We do the whole thing. So you don't, Texas Star Propane, our partner in there, they handle all of it, from the installation of the tank, the hookup, everything. But in most other areas, it's going to be whatever propane company is in that area that you're going to set the account up with.
Okay. Kelsey is asking if they can add the brick in the canyon to make it similar to the San Jacinto kitchen.
So on the canyon, let's take a look and see. It's going to come down to ceiling height. Is kind of the most important thing. But yeah, if you've got, a 9 or 10 foot ceiling in there, you're going to be able to accommodate that. It's usually how much of countertop you're willing to give up, right, Nidia? So you're going to be looking at the stone or brick. It's substantial. It's not small, and so you are giving up some countertop space along that back wall. But yeah, you can absolutely do it. It's very similar to the way it's done in the LaSalle. Very similar to the way it's done in the San Jacinto. You could do stone or brick going across the range wall. You need to know that you're going to lose probably as much as a foot on either side. So will be the utility room entry side and then the pantry side. But yeah, it can be done.
Okay, great. David is asking a question on foundations. Do we do any rebar slabs or are they all post-tensioned? And what is our opinion on each?
It's definitely post-tension slab. Engineer for your type of soil, your outer level, your floor plan. Now the opinion on each, I'm going to let Eric say that because I'm just
be glad to, because we've done both for a very, very long time. Obviously we did rebar forever. We did rebar for the first, for sure, 70 years that we existed, 65 years we existed. And our first encounter with post-tension was in North Texas when we opened up the Melissa office and the Weatherford office. That was kind of our first experience with post-tension. That was back in 2000. So we've been using post-tension for 20 years. We started using it up there. Absolutely loved the application, the rarity that we had any kind of foundation issues, and then slowly but very surely pushed it out over the rest of the state to where it was a mix at first, and then by 2000, probably 7 or 8, we were exclusively post-tension. So I think that kind of speaks to the opinion of it, is that we are much happier with the newer technology that is the post-tension foundation, because it does take advantage of both the tensile strength of the steel and the compression strength of the concrete. So whereas rebar, all it does is hold the concrete once it starts cracking. That's the whole point of rebar. It's steel reinforced slab. Whereas the post-tension, it actually pushes that concrete against itself. Very, very strong under compression. It's not real strong if you just take a piece of concrete that's 12 feet long, let's say, and 4 inches thick, and got no steel and no nothing in it, and you put it on 2 sawhorses. Eventually move those sawhorses out, the concrete will fall under the weight of itself. Even with rebar in it, it'll start sagging and it will break, and the rebar will just hold it together, that hold broken pieces of concrete together. Whereas post-tension, you run a steel cable through that, tighten it to 30,000 PSI, which is what they tighten them up to. You can move those sawhorses way out before that before the concrete gives you any problems. So our opinion is that post-tension foundations are superior to steel reinforced or rebar foundations. There's still rebar that goes into our slabs. And so a lot of these hatch beams, there'll be stirrups, there'll be rebar going across potential overhangs, hard corners. You'll see a lot of times they call for some 1/2 inch or 5/8 rebar. So it's not that they're completely devoid of rebar. It's just not done in the traditional steel reinforced way that they used to be done. Post-tension is a far superior way to combat most soil types where we build. I'm not going to say the whole United States of America should go to post-tension, because there's different soil types all over.
Okay. Maria is
of concrete.
Maria is asking, do we have a model home with a mother-in-law suite? And if so, where is it located?
I believe will be De La Salle, right? And that will be Huntsville.
That's right. Yeah, the LaSalle does have a mother-in-law suite done to it, and we have other plans. So that's where you could walk in and see one. Then we have certainly other plans where we offer a custom option of a mother-in-law. Say just send us one. You could easily do it in the rock wall, but there are a few that offer it as an alternative. But the LaSalle model, in Texas Grand Ranch does in fact have a mother-in-law, kind of a fourth bedroom and bath that's on a completely separate part of the house from the rest of the homes. Now, if you want to go so far as have its own kitchenette and that kind of thing, that we need to price that out. But it's not going to have that. It's just its own bedroom and its own ensuite.
Okay. Edgar is asking if we can put in epoxy floors in place throughout the house instead of carpet and tile.
So epoxy is not something that we offer. The kind of the gray garage looking, which is not something that we have a vendor for, and I've not seen it done much in living areas. I've seen it done a lot in garages and shops. In fact, my brother-in-law did his own when he built his rock wall in Driftwood, Texas. It's very confusing, given the plans that we have. But yeah, he did an epoxy floor, and it turns out great. That's his workshop and wood shop, but it's not something that we have a vendor prepared to do in our regular living area.
Okay. Donna is asking on the frame around the bathroom vanity mirrors, is that standard or is it an upgrade?
On the bathrooms?
The mirror frames.
Oh, yes. That will be something that we have options for, and that's something that comes with our regular plans. But we have different options for you, and we can show you, and you make the decision. And I thank you, Donna. I think I met with you a few days ago. And we'll have you back.
Awesome. Renee is saying she understands that the cypress is a sister plant to the driftwood. Thank you. And is asking if the bonus room can be added to the cypress and would the cost be around the same as what we quoted for the driftwood?
Actually, right. So I actually have two cypress under construction here in Denton County. And on both houses, we did the bonus, just like the driftwood. And the price was basically around the same. So we can definitely do it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Julie Ray just wants everybody to know they need to go see Nidia. She's patient, talented, helpful, and a wealth of knowledge.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Say that.
And Mr. Craig wants everybody to know that the llama's name is Gary.
Llama. I keep calling it alpaca. I apologize. Tell it I'm sorry, Mr. Craig. Tell Terry I apologize.
Javo wants to know, with everything else being equal, what type of soil would we prefer to build a home on?
Select fill. I mean, that's every builder's dream come true. 60-40 sand and clay mix, select fill. That's, in fact, when you're going to build, when big commercial construction projects, when you look at what they actually order or spec out for building a school or a building or something like that, they spec haul everything in here out and bring in select fill. So select fill is ideal, but the post-tension foundations that our engineers design are designed to broad brush handle the soil type. And that's why we do the soil test specifically on your property to avoid that gigantic cost associated with extracting all the dirt that's on your place and bringing in select fill, because there's a reason they do it on commercial projects and not residential projects, because it is cost prohibitive. It's very expensive to do and not necessary, quite frankly.
Okay. Debbie is asking, is there a way to filter or find out which plans come with a butler's pantry, or is it always going to be an add-on option?
Nope. We actually have the pay bill is one of the ones that comes with the butler's pantry, and we can try to work any plan. You just make sure that we have the space, or we can add a little bit of space just to get the pantry the way you want it. But if you wanted to see a plan with it, that will be the pay bill, which is a must.
Yeah, and then bring that design, at a certain point, just find out what design works for you, and then get with a consultant like Nidia and say, hey, look, this butler's pantry thing I see here, really, really important to me. Can you only show me plans that here's my budget, here's my price range. Only plans that are going to accommodate that price point, and I can put a butler's pantry in. And your best bet is let somebody like Nidia just do her magic and go to town on that.
That's
with her
nice.
red band on her watch and her red nails and her red shirt, and let her just do her thing with her redlining of her pen.
There you go. Pulling it all together. Melissa is asking if we ever screen in back porches that have a cathedral ceiling.
We definitely
Can be
screen the porch, but I don't know if I have not done one with the cathedral ceiling.
Yeah, our vendor makes a panelized material that can be done. It's an aluminum frame that they can come out and measure, cut to fit, where it will do it on a cathedral ceiling like that. So yeah, it's something we have to price. We don't have it in our price book. We have to get it priced per the plan and the design, and kind of we need to know what wall you're going to want the screen door to come out on. Do you want to come out the left side, the right side, or out under the cathedral portion? And then we can get that priced out for you with a price inquiry. We certainly can.
Okay, excellent. And then Jim Wagner just wanted to say a few words about Nidia. They have built 4 new houses, and she's been the easiest and most knowledgeable person he's ever worked with. Unlike many professionals, if she doesn't know the answer up front, which is seldom, she'll tell you and we'll find out the answer for you.
Thank you so much. You are so kind. He's actually not, that's not true. I do not know a lot of things.
Oh, that's it.
That's not true.
What I know is I will find out for you. So thank you so much. I appreciate
Thank you for sharing that. We appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Lupe is asking if we have a website she can go to get an estimated payment.
Well, you can actually go and look at any mortgage calculator, but you have me. We can actually go in details, and we can kind of try and see what are kind of how much you're looking for, and see what payment will be for you. So we actually can help you with that as well.
Yeah, and I would recommend speaking to one of the consultants in the area, simply because, or at least a loan officer in the area, but more likely a design consultant, because if you want to get the taxes and those kind of things as accurate as possible, a lot of the just broad brush online mortgage calculators, they're not going to get the property tax number quite accurate. That's going to be something that you're going to want to pin down at the local level, and we can help do that. So.
Okay. Kimberly is asking, when she's bringing in her own appliances, is there anything that we need besides the dimensions?
Oh, definitely. So that is actually that we've done that before. We definitely need the specs. So all the sheets that come with the appliances, so our drafting department can ensure that they will properly fit on your plans. So yes, we require all the specifications for the appliance.
Yeah, the full specifications, not just the dimensions, which is like what they say is very, very important, but also what type of electricity they're going to require, what amperage they're going to require, what type of fuel. Is it going to be LP? Is it going to be natural gas? If there's going to be dual fuel, we want to accommodate that. So yeah, we definitely need the full specifications and make sure that all of our vendors, not just the cabinet folks or drafting folks, but plumbers, electricians, everybody is on in the loop when those are going in, because it affects a lot more than just the hole in the cabinet that it goes in. Great question.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
Rita is asking which climate zone Angelina County is.
Angelina County. I actually have those pulled up. Beautiful Lufkin by golly, Texas. So Angelina is in climate zone 2. You're going to be a fiberglass bad insulation.
Okay, great. Johnny is asking, if someone is buying land now and wanting to build with Tilson, does that mean that there will be 2 closings?
Great question.
Yes. So if they're buying land right now, so they will close on their land, and it can be a cash, buying the land outright, cash, or will close on your land, or you can finance your land. And then once we build a house on your property, then you will have the final closing with the house in it. Yes.
That's right. And you would not be the only payments you would make during construction would be on your regular land payments, if you're making payments on it. You would not have any construction loan payments, none of this one-time close. The interest is accruing and is paid at the end, which is the way a lot of those will work. They'll offer it up as an advantage of, oh, well, you don't want to close twice on your land and the house. Well, yeah, you do, because you're actually going to end up paying way more if you do the one-time close and then that interest is accruing. It may be the only option some folks have. Okay, so it's not unethical, not illegal. It's the way a lot of houses are done. But with us, you don't have to do that. You would not have to close on the one land and the construction to permanent. You would just close on the land, and then once the house is completely finished, you've done your walkthrough, you're satisfied, you move in, then you close on the permanent. And what if there is a balance on the land at that point, it gets rolled into your final mortgage.
Okay, that makes sense. David is asking, when we're talking about spray foam insulation and being a tight house, we talked about a central dehumidifier. Do we also install an ERV?
We actually don't. We used to do energy recovery ventilators, but typically right now the dehumidifier is the superior way to go. And it's a very rare occasion I can't think of any, in fact, that you would use both. Some people do, but it's not. It's not doing. They're not needing to be used together.
Okay. He's also asking if we do energy model and manual J for the HVAC.
Yep, manual J on every single house. Yes.
Every house. Yep.
And do we have a third-party inspection of all elements of the home?
Yes.
We do, including the energy rating.
Awesome. And then he's also asking, are there any wood gas dual fuel heating options?
So, we're talking about maybe fireplace.
I'm guessing that's a fireplace.
Yeah, we can, but it's going to be wood burning with maybe a gas log lighter is all I could think about if you did something like that. It would be like our Constitution fireplace, Nidia, which is a sealed combustible space. But we have one option. Right? You say options, we have one option for that if you want to do that in climate zone 3 in a spray foam home. If you're doing a bad insulation home, you got a few more options on wood burning. But in a spray foam home, we pretty much just have one option for wood burning.
Okay. KL Cougar from YouTube wants to just let you guys know that you're great and have answered all of our questions. Looking forward to signing with us soon. So thank you for watching us.
Yeah.
Angelica is asking, can you start construction if you're still making payments on your land?
Good question.
Yes, definitely. We do require 10% down payment, but we look for it on equity. So best case scenario, you will just still paying your regular land payment, but you wouldn't have to do any down payment on the house. And like Eric said, once we finish building the house, that's when you will combine the land payoff with your house and your final mortgage, so you will only have the one payment.
That's right. But yeah, we can build with you still making those payments, no problem. Just keep on doing that.
Okay. Tommy Harrison just wanted to say that we built his house last year and he loves it. Nidia, you were on point.
Oh, that's cool.
And he built a Driftwood. Wonderful, wonderful house.
And David has clarified he was actually asking for central wood heat with a gas backup.
No, we can do. We have electric heat with a gas backup, but not central wood heat with a gas backup. No, sir. Okay.
And that is all the questions that I'm seeing.
Great.
Right now.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for
so you guys probably need a break.
That's all right. I have just a quick announcement for everyone, and then we'll sign off for any of all three people that are probably still on this thing at this point. And that is, we have a new batch of shirts for you people that have been so kind as to let us include. So we have these Tilson Famous T-shirts. We've had some customers reach out. These are for any of our customer. Well, first of all, Nidia, for employees that will join us on these live videos. So Nidia will be getting one of these shirts, as well as Jerry, Wendy, Eric, Catherine, and some of the other folks that have joined us. Holly and Mallory and all the wonderful people that have joined us on these. Darla, yep.
And other Eric.
Dawn, other Eric, yep. You'll get. So anyway, also Dawn, who else? Who else are these?
So any of our customers who have also been featured on social media. So if we have shown your home in a video, if you yourself have been in a video, if we've shown your milestone photos, if you shared any kind of other content with us, you are eligible for one of these t-shirts. So send us a message on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, private message us, and we will have the marketing team take care of getting a t-shirt out to you.
I'm the only one in the world right now. I'm it.
You do.
I need mine right away.
Going up into North Texas immediately. So anyway, thank you folks who let us feature your experience. You've been wonderful. Keep the content coming. Nidia?
Yes, I want to say one more thing. Si alguien necesita ayuda en español, con muchísimo gusto, estoy aquí para ayudarles. And that's it. Pretty much, if you need help in Spanish, Some people just stay bilingual like me, but they just feel more comfortable in Spanish. I'm also here to help.
Por supuesto, por supuesto. Muchas gracias, Nidia. So we also thank you, Nidia, for joining us today, taking time out of your day. We're so grateful for that. Thank you, Dawn, for setting this up. And
thank you, everybody, for hanging out.
The not so live chat. So work through that. And
yes, sorry, it just failed me. I don't know.
It's all right. We work through these things all the time. And anyway, we genuinely hope we can soon make you part of the team.